Yeah. Alright, so this stage goes through a whole bunch of different permutations, which is honestly pretty neat. It's also
so
like
different colors.
It's also like a hell gauntlet. This is probably one of my least favorite stages in this game. Mostly because of the bats. Like, for whatever reason, the Bataantons in this game are, like, ruthless and will never stop, like, sticking to you, which is a bad caveat that a whole bunch of enemies in this game have. Like, bosses will do it a bunch. Where it's just like, I touched you, and now I'm going to keep touching you instead of backing off or making anything balanced, which is like, please just stop.
God, that loading is so much better.
Yeah, you go through it immediately.
So much better.
Alright, so that whole first chunk was, again, completely unique stage. Now we are in...
Toxic Seahorse?
Toxic Seahorse, yep.
And because it's a sewer.
Yep.
I feel like this is the sewer from New Pork City. Because of all the pig snouts on the walls. I know they're outlets, but...
Okay.
It just looks like pig snouts.
Well, those are massive outlets. If they are indeed outlets.
Went further down
I
than
only
thought.
saw the one, but...
They're all over the walls.
There are no outlets. Anywhere.
You were on
the foreground outlets. I was looking in the back.
Oh, there they are. Like, I only saw... I don't know where the fuck it was.
Oh my god, bats, please.
I'm sad that the sewage isn't sewage colored in this one, but...
I wonder what the, like, Game Boy Color's palette limit is. Because it only seems to be able to do, like, 5 or 6 different colors a stage? Like, not including enemies?
Alright, so we got our first X-capsule.
Don't like your face.
He flashes a lot in this one, and our screen is super washed out, so that's not the game, that's just your computer doing dumb stuff.
Right, well, it looks fine on the other monitor.
I wasn't worried about it. So we're getting the boots.
I saw the word upgrade like 3 times right in a row there.
Yes.
Upgrade your upgrade with this upgrade.
Correct. So this one alleviates a lot of the problems that the upgrade in Extreme 1 had, where it basically just let you dash off the wall, which you couldn't do because of how the controls go. Also, it'll show you updates since you don't... It's the same thing, like there's no sprite for individual armor parts, so it's like, you are progressing, don't worry. This one you get the air dash, which actually functions as like a double jump, which is super nice. And you can do the X3 straight up dash, which is actually much easier to perform in this, like there's no weird delays or anything like that. And I'm assuming that the main reason they added it in this way is because when you were trying to climb up really tight gaps, you would like bounce all over the walls and shit, and in this one you can actually control when you're changing up your direction and stuff like that.
So, is that water, like, lethal?
No, this water will just push you around. There is lethal water later.
Good.
And because of how the Game Boy sprites flash, you'll seriously never know the difference unless you touch it. So in this area, it's lethal. You can kind of see some vague yellow frames. It's supposed to be electrified now, which makes sense. It's just bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And this level also has a goddamn ton of shutters, because I guess you're supposed to be going between like floodgates and stuff. So,
But they're not stopping the flooding.
Well, that area, it wouldn't have flooded. Alright, I need to concentrate here for just a second. I don't want to risk that. I think I'm out of time there. It comes periodically. It's kind of like,
In X5 or 6.
shit. It's a little easier to do that without... It's a little easier to do that without bouncing around if you can get him with a charge shot through the wall when you go through.
Right.
Luckily, even though I died, I keep that heart tank so I don't have to do it again.
Right.
But yeah, usually you can get through it if you're quick enough and you get that, like, no knockback thing. Oh, okay, now that we are forced to stare at that little power-up down there...
Yeah.
Which is gone now,
Yeah.
so I can't show you the thing I was going to show you. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's, like, 4 or 5 Yeah, and then there's, like, the regular health capsules, too.
Right.
Those are the DNA souls, and what I'll show you here, since I can't really progress. See, that's a normal
Right.
You see this counter here, under the clock, 460. That's souls, or, you know, whatever.
Is this going to be like the sprockets or whatever the fuck they are?
Yeah, you use those to buy upgrades. And it luckily is not super grindy in this. Like, you need not a lot. Like, it's not hard to get a good amount of them. And we're back in Toxic Seahorse's stage. And I love that this just whole room is, like, no opposition whatsoever, and now we're at the boss fight.
Looking at it, I want to say the Game Boy Color can have 16 colors on screen?
Right, I'm talking, like,
Oh,
16 colored groups is what I meant. Like, tan, brown, blue.
Well, maybe, like...
And then they
if
have
it's
variants on it.
similar to the NES, it would be 3 colors plus transparency per sprite, then the background.
Alright, so,
Definitely seems a little bit more intense than that.
So, Volt Catfish has... Oh, damn it, I'm probably going to get myself killed here if I'm not paying attention. Okay, good. Volt Catfish is one of the bosses in this one that will perform immeasurable amounts of bullshit on you if you're not using his weakness weapon. He has an attack that electrifies the floor and the ceiling. Like, there'll be a little ball on the floor and the ceiling, and they kind of track back and forth directly parallel to each other. And that causes, like, some magnetic horseshit that draws you into him, where you will take damage, or it sticks directly to you and, like, constantly does thunderbolts between them, and it does, like, a third of your health bar of damage per hit.
Wow.
And it just doesn't stop until you die or kill him. So,
God, man.
yeah, there's a lot of that in this game. And now we get to see these two a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
So, you met...
Arcana.
Yeah, she's, like, supposed to be a witch sort of archetype.
Yeah.
And she's got some cool boss fight gimmicks, which you'll see later on.
Sorceress, thank you.
I'm getting Ages flashbacks. A little bit. Just a little bit.
Oracle of Ages?
Yeah. And see, like, the Black Queen from Ages and then Onyx from Seasons. I mean,
Basically.
Those games need more love.
big deal.
Literally never played them. Probably never gonna play them. So their characterization is kind of getting shown off here, which is neat-ish, I guess. As opposed to Zane and Gamel, who are just like, we're both gonna just kill you. Gareth is kind of honor-bound, is like, we should probably take care of them now while they're really not a problem. And she's like, no, this is entertaining, let's get more data from them. And maybe one of the Guardians will get lucky and kill them before they even get to us. And so it's just like a back and forth, like, I want to watch them fight. And the other one is just like, that's really dumb. You're dumb. Stop being dumb. Don't do that.
I like that the portraits actually look like sprite art this time around instead of
It reminds me a
low-res
lot of
renders.
Shovel Knight, kind of.
Yeah.
Because Shovel Knight's always like, we wanted to go back to the NES, and it's like, that's a lot more advanced than what the NES could do.
Yeah.
And this definitely...
It's a little hit or miss in this one. Like, this scene is good.
Yeah, well, it's because it's like still art.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even that. Like, later on you'll see, like, a close-up of Burkana, and it looks really weird. Like, it doesn't look bad. You know, it's set up in their art style, you can tell the character, the colors are all correct, but it's like... Yeah, it's like there's something about it that doesn't look finished or polished or anything, or like professional quality.
Is it like, Sigma's half cat face from the last game?
No, he's actually worse in this one.
Oh, good.
Oh, hey, Sigma's in this one? You don't say!
Who'd have thunk it? Actually, Sigma in this one is more interesting than in the other one, where he's like sort of directly related to the plot. He's only in extreme mode, and it'll only like become apparent at that point that he's involved at all. So he's actually, again, kind of like the Oracle of Seasons and Ages games, where it's like, you beat both stories, here's a secret final boss.
It's Ganon.
Yeah, and I don't remember off the top of my head if there's like a different cutscene afterwards. I don't think there is. But yeah, in this one, it's like super unclear why the hell he's even here, so it's kind of easy to just say, like, you're not getting it yourself.
It was an off day for him.
More or less. Alright, so...
But you still can't tell which ones he beat.
Yeah, I think it's probably just sprite limitations. Okay, so I'm not going to buy anything here just yet, but this is the cart page. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of unclear how exactly it works. What I was reading is that, A, not all parts are available in all modes, so, like, I guess certain X parts you can only get an X's storyline or whatever the hell that means. And the other general thinking is that they'll only appear when you have twice the amount of money you need to buy them, which isn't as bad as it sounds. Like, you can still rack that up pretty fast.
Yeah. But can you buffer over underflow?
You wouldn't really need to. If you can, I don't know how, but you shouldn't need to for any reason. Like, it's actually a pretty good monetary system. Like, stuff drops it frequently enough.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Does it?
I recognize these tubes.
Does it count as health?
Yeah, it also counts as health.
Alright, that's
the blue and yellow. So this section is dumb. If you go on the top route, you have to go through a bunch more of those seahorses. The bottom route is like a split path, and it's literally, I guess, just to, like, challenge you. It's one of these dudes. Watch how fast you can kill him without even using the charge shot. Look, he's already dead. I barely even had time to explain, and that's the only time that shows up in the game.
Didn't even know
It
you were
looks like
hurting
he had
him.
fat cheeks just on his face.
More or less. And, like, that doesn't lead to a heart tank or an armor part or anything. He's just there for an alternate path. And there's, like, no alternate paths in this game. It's really just, like, there. And it's, like, so... Like, why? Who cares?
Get on my level. Oh god, what are you doing? Ah!
Exactly.
I like that the tubby fish have two colors. Like, every other enemy in this game are monochromatic, except the tubby fish.
More or less.
Sunfish.
They're the most important
They're, like,
fish.
sort of piranha, I think.
I love them.
Alright, so you need the boots to get to this regardless of which way you do it. You can air dash that way, or you can do a vertical run up from there. It doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure there's, like, literally no way to do it without the boots. So they made the leg upgrade way more useful in this one than it was in the previous one, which...
Yay, whalebone.
Yeah.
That's an ugly palette for the whalebone.
Yeah, it's not the best! And also, because there's no animation, you just fall straight through, like, a now open hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And it still leads down to this dude.
It's like the bees.
Yeah, more or less. There's no storm tornado in this game with which to just steamroll this enemy
He's
type.
shorter this time, too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Probably due to sprite limitations.
Most likely, yeah.
Oh, but he has a very nice turnaround animation.
Yeah, no, it's kind of surprising some of the level.
yeah, that's definitely due to sprite limitations.
Some of the level quality in this one is really neat. And if you really want to, it takes a little longer. I'm pretty sure you can just stand right up along here. He'll always turn around and never damage you. But he has way more health in this one than he does in any of his other incarnations, which I think would just be in one. Each part usually drops something, which is, again, good for soul farming. If you're lucky, if he drops one of the Pyramid 3 top ones
boost
in the
over it.
spot, yeah, you can still pick it up, exactly. You just do the air dash over it.
Okay, so here's something I noticed with Dr. Sprite in this one.
Dr. Sprite?
Dr. Sprite. His
Okay.
hair is toned down, it's
Sprite.
shorter, but his beard is bigger. So it's like his hair just like whoop, like balanced out. It's
In
the same
the
amount.
little Sprite?
No, in that one.
I think that one's like the exact same Sprite. They might have touched it up a little bit. I'd
Yeah.
have to compare them.
I don't know. I feel like the pompadour is smaller and the beard is bigger.
Well, the pompadour is really only emphasized in like his side Sprite in the actual capsule. But I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, we're getting the body upgrade. In this one, you actually do get the Giga Crush, which actually comes in
it's a
handy
belly shirt.
a surprising amount. They're always like that. He's got the midriff always exposed. That was a little sloppier than usual.
Good thing he always has Under Armour on.
Depending
Catfish,
on
how's it going?
the version of it. So this part coming up gets pretty nerve-wracking, because they'll pull you in over those, and if you kill them while you're in it, you basically drop down into the spike, so you kind of need to be aware of where you are in this one and try to kill them ahead of time just to be safe.
I'm guessing you can't, like,
learn to
move once
fish
you fall out.
transfer.
Say again, Brady?
I said I'm guessing you can't, like, move once you fall out of them.
No, you can still go left and right, it's just way more dangerous. So it's good to know, like, just ahead of time, because, you know, you drop kind of fast in this one. The water physics aren't as pronounced in this game as they are in the Super Nintendo ones. But yeah, no, it's just like a good sort of pro tip. Like, be careful, you might get dumped right into them. And the next level coming up, there's actually even more of a err on the side of caution thing for reasons that are just unbelievably bullshit, which I will show off.
Okay, so does this guy have 2 white eyes or 1 red eye?
It's their eyes. The side eyes are eyes.
The red one's just a gem.
Yeah, basically.
Because when you kill him, it looks like the center one is like, "Ah!" Like, oh no, you got me.
Yeah, well, they're all like, he, you know, basically has like a whole face. Okay, so I kind of want to show this off, but I'm not going to, because seriously, fuck launch Octopus in this game. So what you want to do, since you started with Neon Tiger like a smart person, is you can use Rayclaw.
Blue boots.
You can use Rayclaw to immediately cut off his tentacles. And what's awesome about this is now that they're coming off, he is vulnerable pretty much this whole time. So you can just, like, hammer on him while that's happening. And now he can only do literally what he's doing right now. He will jump and shoot those missiles and that is Yeah, no, it is that. In his normal mode, he does Marine Tornado a whole bunch, which is, you know, you see it in the Super Nintendo when he jumps up and does that, and if you get caught in it, he drains your health. In this version, he has... Yeah, they come back immediately when you kill him. In this version, when he gets down to about half health, sometimes sooner, because, you know, fuck you, he'll do it and scoot along the ground towards you, and then just stay on top of you until you die. And he's completely invincible while he's doing it, and he'll just do it over and over and over. Even if you're using his weakness weapon, he still does that. So, more or less, the only good way to beat him is to cut his tentacles off. Otherwise, it's just like... Even with the body armor doing half damage, it's still just like, I'm dead. What do you want me to do? I showed him earlier in my practice, and it is just stupid shit.